Hey guys, it's Kyle Thompson here with eXp Realty, bringing you the first monthly market update for September, and this week we're going to be covering all properties. Let's dive right in. All right, starting off big picture. Last month we had 331 new listings, 183 new sales. The average list price was $725,140. The average sale price was $688,568. The average sale price to list ratio was 95.5. Average days on market was 60.43, and we ended the month with an inventory of 934 units. So let's take a look at what that does to the market conditions. As always, I like to use both the monthly supply of inventory method as well as the sale to new list ratio, as I find using both measures gives a more complete picture of what's going on in the market. With that said, using the monthly supply of inventory method, we came in at 5.95 months, which puts us back into a neutral market, but on the cusp of a buyer's market. If we use the sales to new list ratio instead, we came in at 55%, which puts us into a neutral market. Now, let's take a look at the active inventory last month. New listings fell month over month from 359 down to 331. New sales increased from 179 up to 183. Expireds also increased from 49 up to 71. And the benchmark price for a home in Kamloops fell $500 from $595,400 to $594,900. Now let's take a look at the end of month inventory. Last month, we ended the month with an inventory of 934 units, which is the third highest in the last 10 years for this time of the year. And currently, we are sitting about 17% above the trailing 10-year average of 798. If we look at new listings instead, we see that so far year to date, there's been 2,860 new listings, which is the highest over the past decade. And currently we are sitting about 9.82% above the trailing 10-year average of 2,604 units. If we look at units sold instead, we see that so far year to date, there's been 1,324 units sold, which is the second lowest over the past decade, only faster than last year. We actually started off quite a bit slower, but the second half of the year has been picking up. And currently we are sitting about 17.76% below the trailing 10-year average of 1,610 units. Now let's take a look at the sales dashboard, starting off with the average sale price. This table is measuring a full year over a full year, so year over year. And when looked at that way, prices are up about 1.19%, with most areas being within 2% of where they were last year, with the exceptions of single-family dwellings on land, which are up 15%, manufactured homes on land, which are up 14.6%, and half duplexes, which are down about 16.42%. Now let's take a look at the sale to list price ratio. So all this is a measurement of how much properties are selling below the list price on average. So it's a good proxy for how much negotiating room you have when you are the buyer. With that said, last month it fell about 0.13%, down to 95.5, which is the second lowest rating in the past 12 months, meaning that there is more negotiating room on average when you are the buyer. Now let's take a look at the sales by property type. This table is full year over full year again. And when looked at that way, total sales are actually up 5.08%, rising from 1,793 up to 1,884. If you take a look at the table there, you'll see that most of the property types that are a little bit cheaper are faring better. So half duplexes are up 28.7%. Single-family dwellings on land are down 24.29%, and manufactured homes are up 81.82%. Now let's take a look at days on market, starting off with the 10-year. So far year to date, it's taken an average of 52 days for properties to sell, which is about 9% above the trailing 10-year average of 48. If we take a look at the trailing 12 months instead, we see that in August there was a big spike up, rising from 50 in July up to 60 in August, and currently we are sitting about 7.6% above the trailing 12-month average of 56 days. Finally, let's take a look at days on market by property type. All major property types are taking longer to sell, with the exception of full duplexes, which have fallen year over year from 63 down to 55. And the most notable increases in days on market are to apartments, which have risen from 51 days up to 65 year over year, and manufactured homes in park, which have risen from 47 days up to 65 days. That's all we have for today. I really hope that you guys are continuing to get value out of these market updates. If you are, please consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you ever want anything added to these market updates, or maybe you feel like something needs to be more thoroughly explained, please feel free to leave your comments or suggestions in the comment section below, and I'll get to them as soon as I'm able. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.